Welcome to ACC Student News.
The news students can use. This week headline includes the Indiana Hoosiers dominating in the championships against the Miami Hurricanes,
as well as a snowplow driver being hit by a train. I'm Richard.
And I'm Kristen. Here are all of this week's stories.
A large outbreak of the measles has been found in South Carolina. Nearly 800 new cases reported. At least 557 people, including some students, are currently quarantined across the state. Many people are wondering how much worse it can get after last year's total of 2,000 cases across the state.
The Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, has gone to China for what he called a more sophisticated relationship with improved market access, lowering tariffs and investment deals. This has been the first time in 8 years that the British leader has visited China. A result, Belgium agreed to 30-day visa-free access for Britons and to cut Chinese tariffs on whiskey in half. A UK drug maker announced they would make a $15 billion investment into China.
A 64-year-old Village of Bartlett public work employee was operating a small snowplow when he was hit with a metro train on a Monday. The fatal incident involving Metro District West happened at an intersection at Oak Avenue and Railroad Avenue. The Bartlett Police and Fire Department responded to the scene and provided emergency medical care to the employee. He was transported to St. Alexis Medical Center in Hoffman Estates in critical condition, where he later died. No train passengers were injured. The Metro Police Department is investigating the incident. Some trains may be operating with extensive delays.
Amazon has begun its second wave of mass layoffs in the last 3 months. The rounds of layoffs affect over 16,000 employees in favor of generative artificial intelligence at this corporation level. This round of layoffs follow a round of 14,000 layoffs in October and is the largest wave of layoffs since 2023. Amazon announced that the U.S.-based employees who were laid off will have an opportunity to find another job intentionally within the next 90 days, and those who aren't successful or don't want a new job will be offered a severance pay, outplay service, and healthcare insurance benefits. The company has yet to specify what business unit would be impacted or where the job cuts will take place.
Indiana DC allegations after the Indiana Hoosiers dominated in the championship against the Miami Hurricanes. It's caused a raising social media suspicion that the Hoosiers defensive coordinator was cheating. Social evidence against the DC of the Hoosiers team suggests that there's no way he could have built a powerhouse of a team in just 2 seasons. The Hoosiers DC is now facing backlash for these said cheating allegations, in which could lead to their win being questioned by officials.
That's all we have for this half.
Stay tuned for after this for more stories. Welcome back. I'm Richard.
And I'm Kristen. Here are some more stories.
The Senate is in a negotiation that did not cast any votes onto government funding this Thursday. This is sending out the government closer to a shutdown. Senate Democrats have stated they had struck an agreement with the White House to move forward with its plan that would see the Department of Homeland Security funding bill separate from a deal of the other 5 bills. The Senate has to get an agreement to move forward with this plan if it wants to hold the votes before the deadline.
A former IMPD officer guilty of molesting children. Hendricks County former police officer of 6 years was found guilty of child molesting, sexual misconduct with a minor, and obstruction of justice. Allegedly told investigators that he touched children's bodies inappropriately and used tiny cameras to spy on his victims in their room. One of the victims found the camera and told their mother. When questioned, he couldn't provide an answer. This was later reported to the police, which he formally confessed to touching the victims in unwanted places and pleasing himself to his victims unclothed.
Iran has killed at least 6,000 people as a result of nationwide protests. These protests occurred due to Iran's economy falling, where 1.5 million rials, Iran's currency, is equal to just $1 US. The United States could get involved. The U.S. Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and destroyers provide the ability to strike Iran. Gulf Arab states have signaled they want to stay away from any attack despite hosting U.S. military personnel.
A nurse who was suspended over an alleged breach of transgender patient privacy has been reinstated. Jennifer Melly from Caledon, South London, has been removed from duty after publicly speaking to the media about receiving a warning for using the wrong pronouns. A intentional disciplinary meeting, a Eston and St. Helen NHS trusted where she worked, has now cleared her of further action. This hearing followed an incident in May of 2024 where Melly was racially abused by a transgender woman who was born biologically a male after she addressed him as Mr.
Ex-FIFA president Sepp Blatter has joined the group that is planning a fan boycott of the World Cup in the U.S. People are wanting to boycott the World Cup matches played in the U.S. due to President Trump and his administration's conduct inside and outside of the U.S. Blatter is one of the several international soccer figures to question if the U.S. is the right place to host some of these matches due to the actions of our president.
That's all we have for this week.
Make sure to tune in next week for more ACC student news.
The news students could use.